Hi folks. Well, the forecast for today was horrific actually. In fact, the forecast for most of this week was going to be torrential rain, and we certainly copped our fair of rain overnight. It actually bucketed down all night. But today, if you're looking over my shoulder, you can see it's just glorious. It's a perfect day. And so I couldn't miss the opportunity while the weather's good to get out again. So I'm going to do a walk today, the Inglis River, along the Inglis River, up to the top of Fossil Bluff. I've not done this walk before, so we'll see how it pays out, and I'll share some updates as I go. So before I set off on my merry way, I just want to give you a look at this starting point here down on the Inglis River. What just a magnificent location to start the day off. And as I've said, perfect conditions, glassy water there, beautiful reflection, a few ducks and other birds on the water. It's just a spectacular place to start the day. Anyway, off I go. As is the case with so many of these walks here down the north coast of Tassie, they've done a great job setting this up away from the roads just above me. Well marked trails, and again, great scenery throughout. All right, so I'm just taking a little bit of a breather up here at the top of the hill. As I zoom in here, you'll see a crowd of birds down there, known kind of affectionately as plovers. They're actually a masked lorping. They're very common here, quite a loud bird in terms of the noise that they make. Also quite an aggressive bird. You know, you probably hear a lot about Australian magpies swooping at you. These guys in mating season and breeding season, I've encountered a couple of times, and it's quite frightening. These are a larger bird. And they are very aggressive. I'm also told the reason we're not seeing so many of our common native birds in our neighbourhood in Somerset is that these birds chase them away. They're quite aggressive. So anyway, the masked larkping, or plover as they're commonly known here. All right, so we spent a bit of time walking along the river. A lot of time on roads actually, disappointingly. But the part that was in the scrub there next to the river was quite gorgeous. We're about to leave the river in our path behind us and head up through this path here towards the bluff itself. I've got the morning sun right in my face, so it's difficult to see. That's better with the shade, but you can see the path. I'll just switch around. The path now leads us up the hill here, aggressively upward towards the top of the bluff. I'll see you up there. Realistically, I'm going to be doing very little talking in this section, because I've got no breath. It's wildly uphill, as you can see, with lots of steps. Anyway, I'll see you at the top. Well, at this point, I'm about 2/3 of the way up to the top of the bluff. And again, pausing. This old guy needs to breathe. But I'm also pausing because check out this view. So we moved away from the river. We're now staring at the sea. You can see the edge of the golf course there in Wynyard, and this beautiful little beach and the sea ahead. And we're going to continue up this path now towards the very top of the bluff. We'll see you up there. Okay, up further still, you get a far better view and a far better sense of what I'm looking for when I get to the top here. Again, an absolutely glorious day. And what a location. This is just spectacular. Looking kind of east along the north coast. In front of us, seas are much calmer today than they were last night. They were pretty intense last night. It's looking pretty fabulous today out there. Now, I think we've actually made it to the top. And conveniently, lovingly, put this beautiful park bench here. I fully intend to take advantage of, so I can sit for a while, have a drink of water, have a health bar, and just take in this incredible view around me. So again, looking over the town of Wynyard, down there, the river that we walked along. Somewhere down there is my bright red car. But check that out. And then over here, by me, Table Cape. Yeah, spectacular. So as I said, we've made it to the top of the bluff, and it's not the end of the walk by any stretch of imagination. This is an in and out walk for a start. So I'm going to walk to the end of the walk, which I'm not at, and then double back and actually repeat the entire walk back to the car. We're going to walk down now to the beach, basically down to the bluff itself, and I'll give you a sense of what's down there. It is a gorgeous spot, and I know it's a place that photographers come to because, like so many places here, as the sun moves, and particularly as the sun rises and sets, the shades and the colours of the bluff actually change. And when you see the rock wall there, you'll get a sense of why it's so popular with photographers. But anyway, we'll continue on shortly. I'll take you down to the beach, show you the bluff, and then we'll begin the journey back. So as I continue on my way down this path, again, I've got to pause and just give you a sense of this view. It's a Table Cape, the home of the annual Tulip Festival, which is quite spectacular. And just gorgeous farming land here on the north coast. And then looking down over this cliff here, I'm actually on top of a magnificent cliff, which we'll see shortly. But just looking down here again, that view and those gorgeous waves and the sunshine, making this such a spectacular day. And while I love going downhill, I don't always love going downhill, I have to be honest with you, my knees really feel it. But the other thing I also recognise when I see a park bench is that I know the walk back up is going to be just a hoot, a bit of a workout. And so for every step down you take, of course, you'll take a step up. Either way, it's all about keeping fit. I'm a little bit huffy-puffy today too, as this is the first time since I got here that I've been walking with my pack, with a load on the back. And I'm doing that deliberately to try and recover my strength, my resilience on these walks. It's been a while, so forgive the puffiness. It's just that I'm carrying a bit of a load as well as the up and downs. Well, as you can see, we've almost made it to the beach. Just going in this last walkway down to the beach, and I'll take you out and show you the bluff. The walk down that section there was interesting, a lot of gravel, quite slippery in places. Certainly a place to be careful. I love the fact that everywhere I go here we've got these lovely seats and park benches. Joe and I have made it a bit of a habit to come and bring some wraps down or something easy. We can sit and just watch the sunset from these points. And there's so many of them along the coast here. So many options for you to stop and either just have a rest or have a meal. And also, surprisingly, lack of flies down here. I've been quite amazed that we haven't been harassed the same as we would be further north. Final steps to the beach. We're here. And that is the bluff in all its glory. And I mentioned that rock wall, as I said, it's quite spectacular how it changes as the light changes through the day. As you can see, the tide's coming quite a long way here. It's out today right now at this point in time, so it's quite convenient. But just zoom back out again so it doesn't look like a hippie movie. But you can see the textures here, this incredible mix of rocks and sand, a beautiful beach, and then this fantastic wall in front of us. Now, with all of these coastal areas, particularly, you know, ones as beautiful as this and so interesting to explore, there is a trap. And I heard some stories about this just the other day. I was at a photography club meeting and they were talking about it. The trap is you can be so mesmerized by the scenery that you're taking in here and so busy exploring and taking photographs or video or whatever you're doing, that you lose sense of what's happening with the tides. And there are definitely areas along this coastline where if you're not paying attention, you can find yourself trapped and the water's coming around you and so forth. And as I say, I heard some stories of near misses where folks had to basically wade through to get the hell out of here before they got trapped or put in a more difficult situation. This area of the coast has some pretty tremendous rips. It's somewhat turbulent water with lots of rocky outcrop, as you can see. So it's not a place where you want to get washed out to sea or taken by the waves. And so being ever conscious about your conditions is obviously a critical thing to keep in mind. So I'm sure it's not lost on you why this is called Fossil Bluff. This sandstone here, beautiful sandstone that we have across this entire wall here, is literally filled with fossils, from shells and other living remnants of our long past. And so, when the early explorers came here and they observed this, the naming convention was a pretty obvious one. There are still tours and expeditions down here looking at the fossils and so forth. But that's the reason why it's called Fossil Bluff. It is one of those areas that is a massive catchment area, if you like, of these ancient fossils. Isn't that cool? And with that, I've achieved my destination, the halfway point of this walk. Got down up to the top of the bluff, down to the bottom of the bluff, and now I'm going to make my way back along that same route back and head to the car. I may stop and share some more video with you, depends. If something is interesting, I'll do that. If not, then I'll see you at the end. You might see a little bit of the local fauna here, enjoying a leisurely breakfast out here in the sun. Rabbits are not native to Australia. They're introduced, became quite a pest at one point, or probably still are, I think, in many places, where you go through a period of introducing a disease, myxomatosis, to try to manage their numbers here. And then humorously, there was a children's rabbit character called Mixie, which was a pretty ironic name anyway. Yeah, he's one of the local residents here. Well, I've successfully made it off the bluff, and I'm back on the river, as you can see, and it's the home stretch, because I can see on the other side of the river, that red thing is my car off in the distance. Anyway, I'm on the home stretch now. It's been just a tremendous walk. I'll give you a quick update at the end of the walk, but thanks for coming along with me. Well, I made it back. I've got the car behind me, and just sitting here watching this cormorant preening itself, enjoying the peace as well. In the background, again, you can hear those plovers going off as they do. But this is just a lovely way to end the walk, just sitting here and taking in this beautiful scenery and relishing the day. So walked about 5.2 k's, climbed about 71 meters, so a decent climb, and the views all along the way, frankly, apart from a little stretch in the middle, which is quite residential, which is beautiful. So this is one I'll probably do again, I suspect. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're living your best life and having as wonderful a day as I am. Have a good one.